Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lamb Weston Fast Chat on the off-premises landscape and the demand for delivery-optimized foods. I'm Mark Hamstra, Informa Engage's content editor for the Restaurant and Food Group. Joining me today is Kim Capelli, Vice President of Marketing and Innovation, Lamb Weston. Welcome, Kim, and thank you for joining us.
Well, good morning, Mark. Great to be here with you today.
Great. Well, off-premises dining was already gaining considerable traction among consumers and increasing attention from operators before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down indoor dining across the country in March of last year. And although indoor dining has returned to some degree, restaurant takeout and delivery have retained their momentum and are expected to continue to play a tremendously important role in the future of the industry. Data from the NPD group shows that off-premises sales, for example, in quick service restaurants were up 5% in the second quarter, and in both quick service and full service restaurants, off-premises sales are up significantly compared with 2019. So consumers are now accustomed to being able to order their food anytime, anywhere they want, and restaurants are making operational changes to accommodate those demands. So let's get right into the questions. So Kim, what are the challenges that operators face amid the increased demand for takeout and delivery?
Well, that's a great question, Mark. And, especially for full service restaurants, one of the biggest challenges they've been faced with is that typically the restaurant operation is based on the dine-in capacity. And so, as you mentioned in the intro, even though takeout sales have been increasing over time, it went from a smoke signal to a Pacific Northwest fire overnight with COVID. And so restaurants have really had to adjust their operations, their online presence. It's been almost a complete overhaul for many restaurants once the pandemic hit. And, one of the things that I've been saying a lot lately is it feels a bit like we're in pandemic 5.0. And, the most recent amount of, situations that are hitting these restaurants are supply inconsistencies. We're dealing with some inflation. Obviously, labor has been an absolute challenge for these operators. And so they've had to be really scrappy and resilient and figure out, how to get up every day and get to work and figure out how to pay the bills and keep their guests happy. So it's been 20 months of a lot of waves of different issues challenging them. But actually this delivery and takeout is actually a really exciting new innovation space for many restaurants to play in.
How do you see the restaurant industry evolving over the long term to keep up with the demand for off-premises consumption, Kim?
So what I love most about the food service industry is its ingenuity and, being resilient through different waves and changes that can affect it. And so this pandemic is no different. We've seen obviously a dramatic increase in delivery and takeout, but what we've also seen is a huge increase in digital ordering. And what we've learned from NPD is that the consumer that orders digitally is doing it more frequently and their check averages are higher. So as an industry, we're seeing a lot of evolution happen, and we're seeing it in some really great examples. So here in Boise, Idaho, there is a restaurant concept called Crave Delivery, and they offer over 18 different restaurant locations. You can order from them, and it's just 100% delivery. Their focus is 100% on service. We see this also with many national chains creating ghost kitchens, which are basically a cool word for just a delivery only type restaurant. We've even seen a lot of independents do this work as well. There's a concept in Atlanta called Cheekies, and they are a taqueria, but if you want, you can order wings to go through a different concept on a different website name. So this industry is 100% resilient. I love to see all the innovation that is happening, especially in this space. And I can anticipate this is going to continue now that consumers have some new behaviors that they're thinking about when ordering to go.
Terrific. That segues into my next question, which is what trends are you seeing in preferences for different menu items for off-premises consumption?
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned, the foods that travel really well continue to do well. Ethnic foods have done extremely well, but we're seeing a lot of momentum with burger and chicken. And so those are foods that, yes, you may be able to make them at home, but it's a little bit more special when you can get them to go. And so, many operators too are also responding to these side dishes like French fries with new battered products, like our battered French fries that are really specially made for delivery. They stay crispy, they're microwavable, and that really helps offer up a delightful meal for those consumers who are either choosing to pick up or get it delivered.
Terrific. And once again, that segues into the next question, which is how are manufacturers responding to the demands of both consumers and their restaurant partners?
So manufacturers and Lamb Weston, along with many of our peer companies, no exception, have been investing a lot of resources into understanding consumer behaviors and offering up new training and new ways for operators to offer delivery and takeout in the marketplace. And so websites, check out our Lamb Weston website, full of resources on menu items that consumers are looking for, packaging and operational tips. Marketing is a huge opportunity with delivery and takeout. What we've seen is consumers shifting from functional visits, like I'm at work and I'm going to go out to lunch with my coworkers, or I'm going to grab some coffee on the way into the office. We've seen a shift from functional visits over to occasion visits. And so, we are investing in a lot of resources to really help those operators understand how to leverage those different resources along the way.
Terrific. Yeah, it sounds like manufacturers really are stepping up to the plate, so to speak, and helping out their restaurant partners with solutions.
Yeah, we like to break it down, Mark, into 6 phases for, sort of best in class in terms of delivery and takeout. So first, it's making sure your digital menu is up to date. Having actually a specific takeout menu is not a bad idea, because to offer your entire menu can be a little bit of a constraint for the back of house. So having a very limited takeout menu and making it customizable online, absolutely. With the increase in digital ordering, that is absolutely something that restaurants need to take advantage of. Having some dedicated space in the restaurant, even go so far as dedicated employees there to help serve the delivery and takeout, is great. And we also think there is a huge opportunity in the feedback loop. So we all know when we go to a restaurant and we get a meal and it's maybe the meat temperature is not what you ordered, you can get some immediate satisfaction, send it back, get it prepared the way you need it. But when your order gets home, there isn't always that natural feedback loop. So one of the areas that we think is a huge opportunity for operators is to close that feedback loop and to think about loyalty. So definitely we know these digital takeout menu customers are buying more often, bigger checks, and so they're really high value. So how do you capture a greater share of that consumer is really, the name of the game right now. And so having a feedback loop is another really cool opportunity for operators to invest in.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us today for this Lamb Weston Fast Chat on the off-premises landscape and the demand for delivery optimized foods. I'm Mark Hamstra, Informa Engage's content editor for the Restaurant and Food Group, and with me was Kim Capelli, Vice President of Marketing and Innovation, Lamb Weston. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Mark.